Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm drinking some mushroom coffee because I'm very pretentious today. But seriously, I'm trying to reduce my caffeine intake and I'm the kind of person that likes this kind of stuff, so excuse me. Today we're going to be talking about my low buy year, an update, what I have bought, my kind of rules, because I think in my last minimalism video I talked a little bit about the rules, but not really that much apart from just the things I wasn't going to be buying this year. Also, I just want to give a quick thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, but we'll talk a little bit more about them later on. But before we get into it, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's commented on my last video. You're all so sweet. I felt so heard and seen and loved, and this is why I love this community, because you guys, you give me strength. And I mean that seriously. I know us Brits can sound sarcastic all the time, but there's a time and a place for sarcasm, okay? Honestly, that's why I am looking like this today. I had a shower, I washed my hair, I took some time, I put a face mask on, because you gave me the energy. Plus coffee helps. I mean, another reason why I've been drinking this is because I drink too much coffee. So I drink 1 caf coffee, 1 decaf coffee, and 1 half caf coffee a day. Okay, so my low buy rules. In my last video I talked about several things that I was not going to be buying this year. And have I stuck to them? Well, we will talk about that in the update today. But one of the things I wanted to mention is my structure of my low buy year. So I have my bills and everything that I have to pay for, rent, bills, business expenses, all of that kind of stuff here in this section. So then I also have this kind of anything I want to spend on money, you know, my groceries, if I want to go and buy a coffee out, if I need anything, or I want to replace my skincare, that kind of stuff goes in this little budget, which is much smaller than it was before, because now I'm actually tracking how much I can save and spend, and it's nice to be able to know that I can sort of stay in these boundaries. And then the rest of it is I split between 3 different things. So I have a general savings account, which is predominantly for my move for my boyfriend wherever we're going to live, and visas and stuff like that, which is gonna be expensive. And then I've got a LISA, which is a lifetime ISA. Those are really good for people like me who are self-employed or have their own business, because it's kind of like having a pension, but it's a bit, I don't know, it's just a bit better for, or it's just if I want to buy a house later in life. I don't know how much later, but I mean, who else is 29 and, you know, either still lives with their parents or can afford to buy a house? Some of my friends have bought houses and I'm just like, that's not me, my friend, currently. That is not. So a LISA is either a lifetime ISA where you can use it as part of your pension when you're like 60, or you can use it to buy your first house, flat, whatever. And then I have also a stocks and shares ISA, which a lot of you have asked me about in my 25 weekly zero waste habits. And I said I put a bit of money in there each week because I don't know much about the stocks and shares stuff, but apparently it's good to spread it out, you know, drip feed money in there. So I do it on a weekly basis rather than like one big lump sum and then just like leave it. Again, I don't know much about stocks and shares and stuff like that. I've only recently been doing this. Not that I know anything, this is not financial advice. Do not take your financial advice from a YouTuber who doesn't know and only just got into it. Also, for me, it was incredibly important that I was putting it into something that was environmentally and socially responsible. So there are quite a few out there that you can choose. It's just up to you to decide personally and morally which is the right one for you. So let me just recap all of that ramble. All of my bills, rent, business expenses, everything sits here. Then I've got my I can spend on whatever I like here, but that's mostly groceries and within a budget of things that I want to spend it on. And then I've got my savings, general savings, my LISA, and my stocks and shares ISA. I feel like I'm just rambling. But on a basic level, this was such a good practice for me to sit down and think, you know, how much do I have of disposable income that I want to spend? And then how much can I save instead? And sitting down and working out that budget for each month is really important. Okay, so let's talk about things that I have bought this year so far. Maybe that I wasn't supposed to, maybe that I wanted to, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there are 5 main things that I have purchased so far during my low buy year, and we'll talk about how they fit in or don't fit into my minimalism series, and also kind of what I've been doing to counteract some of the things I have been bringing into my home. So number 1, I bought more dumbbells. Yes, that's right. But I'm trying to get swole. No, I'm joking. Well, no, I'm not joking. But I also am trying to get this swole, okay? I hate that word, but I also love it, and now I make a joke about me and my dad trying to get swole during lockdown because my mum hates it, so I apologise. That word is just awful, but I love it. So I bought more dumbbells, a pair of 8s, and I bought a 22.5 kilogram one. Oh, it is a beast and I love it. And I don't regret it whatsoever because it is actively contributing to health gains, but also, most importantly, mental gains. And the great thing is it helps my dad as well because he had foot surgery last year and he just hasn't been able to walk properly and hasn't been able to do any lower body stuff. So I think it keeps him really quite mentally stimulated to be able to do upper body stuff, and also just quite hopeful that his feet will get better. So I think that that's been really important for him. As for me, just again, building muscle, feeling strong, working out, and it's just been such a great investment, especially because I'm going to have them forever now. And even if I move abroad, like, my dad is still going to use them. I wouldn't have bought them if my dad wasn't also using them. So all of the dumbbells that I've bought over the lockdown will stay in this house with my parents and they will continue to use them. And then when I move back from wherever I am in the next 5 years, then if they're not using them anymore, I will just take them back. But it's kind of a long-term investment that, again, I'm very happy I made. The next thing is I replaced my journal. As I said, I've been journaling again, and this is my favorite one. I've actually been filling out those pages. Look at those pages. Okay, I've only just started it, but I decided to replace this because I finished all of my other journals. As I said before, I'm the kind of person who has a load of journals and just doesn't finish them, and that's a waste. So I've been able to finish all of those, and I use this one as well as my kind of to-do, which is really good because this was one that I loved and I ruined it by writing Immy's ideas on the front, really ugly, and it was just, Immy, why would you do that? Do you ever do that when you're like so excited about a new thing and you're like, I'm gonna write Immy's ideas over the front so everyone knows that they're Immy's ideas, and then you just really regret it because it looks so bad. I even tried to scrub it off and it just didn't work. So I replaced that, and it's helped me to, again, be more mindful because I'm doing my journaling every day. It's something I get immense value out of, and on the grand scheme of things, it was very affordable. The next thing is I did buy a new water bottle, which might be like, what? Why would you do that? Let me just get it. Don't want to spill my coffee. Yeah, you might be like, why would you do that? Because, I mean, you clearly have water bottles, but I gave loads of my water bottles away, so I actually only have 2 now. Only 2. I have 2 now. One, I have that small blue one that I still have that you might have seen before, but then I got this one. It's quite a big one. Well, I got it from Clean Canteen because one, they're B Corp, carbon neutral, we love them, and also Janu, again, she influenced me. She worked with them last year, maybe, or she continues to work with them, and she loves them and she thinks they're great, and I love whoever Janu loves because she's a queen. So I bought it and I was influenced by it, and I think mostly as well because with the one that I have before, it has quite a wide opening. You know how clumsy I am. I just drip water on my face, and it's also really hard to drink when you're exercising and things like that. So I got this one with this like chug lid, which I love. I'm obsessed with it, and the great thing is you can interchange the tops and things like that. But I love this. It gets me drinking water. It's one of the reasons why my skin has got better, why my sleep is better, because I'm actually drinking. It's the consistency. You don't need to buy a water bottle to be consistent. It just helps me. Okay, you might judge me for this. Actually, I don't think you will. You're a lovely, kind community, aren't you? So, in my other video, I said that I wasn't going to buy any books now until I finished all the ones that I actually had and hadn't finished and was trying to circle back to and all that kind of stuff. But I was finding it really hard to read. Most of the books I had were fiction, non-fiction books, as I mentioned this in my last video. And so I went onto my Instagram, my Immy's book club Instagram, and I looked up all the books that you guys had basically recommended, and I decided to buy 5 new books. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about it at all. Especially because I just found this thing called We Buy Books, where you can scan the barcode of any books you want to get rid of, and they will pay you for them and they'll come and collect them. So I decided if I was going to buy new books, I had to get rid of some old books first. So I think I've managed to get like 80 quid so far from selling some books, which I'm feeling pretty good about. Because also, again, if I'm moving, I don't want to collect loads of books, but I'm a very big passer-oner. I sell books, I pass books on. So I'm going to talk to you about, well, I'm not going to talk to you about them. I'm just going to mention the books that I've got because, well, a lot of you guys recommended them to me. One of my best friends actually recommended this one, Home Fire by Camilla Shamsi. This one, A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. Everyone on that video said that Ruth Ozeki was just like an incredible writer. So I just found the one that was the most recommended. A Tale for the Time Being is an extraordinary novel about our shared humanity and the search for home. Oh God, that makes me want to cry. So that's going to be great. Invisible Women. I think I've talked about this before. It's about exposing data bias in a world designed for men, of course, by Caroline Perez. Oh yeah, so from government policy and medical research to technology, workplaces and the media, Invisible Women reveals how in a world largely built for and by men, we are systemically ignoring half the population, often with disastrous consequences. Very timely. So yeah, I'm ready to read this kind of book. Then I've got by Catherine Boo, Behind the Beautiful Forevers. And then the last one is The Joy Luck Club by Chinese writer Amy Tan. In 1949, 4 Chinese women, recent immigrants to San Francisco, meet weekly to play mahjong and tell stories of what they left behind in China. United in loss and hope for their daughters' futures, they call themselves the Joy Luck Club. Their daughters, who have never heard these stories, think their mother's advice is relevant to their modern American lives, until their own inner crises reveal how much they've unknowingly inherited of their mother's pasts. I was really drawn to this one because it felt similar to Free Food for Billionaires, which is kind of the generational divide between first generation and second generation Korean immigrants in the US. So that's why I picked up this book and I'm really excited to read it. At the moment as well, in particular, I really think it's important to support Asian authors, Asian businesses, check in with your friends, see how they are dealing with the news that's happening around the world. And yeah, it's quite horrifying, and it's really important that we share solidarity with them so that they know that they're not alone and that we want to help in any way that we possibly can. So definitely supporting businesses and whatever you can do is really, really important. Okay, so those are the books that I have bought, but as I said, to bring those 5 books in, I got rid of quite a few books, and I also have been de-teching my life, so I got rid of my Fitbit and I've been wearing my other watch. I also I had a speaker that I listened to that I just didn't really use. I don't like the idea of having something in my room that's listening to my conversations. So I got rid of that. So I have really been minimizing my stuff. I've also decluttered my wardrobe quite significantly. Since my last video where I tried on everything in my closet, I actually went into my parents' roof here to look for some old things from university and stuff like that, and also just to clear out my stuff that they have that, you know, they shouldn't have to hoard for me. And I found quite a few things, like quite a few clothing items from several years ago, some really ugly Michigan jumpers that I just love and now wear, and an old grandpa jumper, lots of stuff. So loads of stuff in there I also decluttered. So I've been trying really hard to just get rid of a lot of my stuff in as sustainable a way as possible. So I've sold a lot of things, I've donated some things that I know will be used, I've given a lot of things away. What else? Oh yeah, and the last thing that I have been buying is I just replaced my skincare. So the Vegan Glow is I use their night cream and their morning cream, and I love them so much. And I buy it through Beauty and Soul, which is, now I can call her my friend, Marie. She has this company called Beauty and Soul, which is all about Korean skincare. She's got a whole vegan line. I also got a face mask from her the other day, which I just used today actually before I filmed this video, so hopefully my skin is looking nice. Why don't I talk about how I'm feeling and what I've learned from this whole experience so far? I know it's only been 2.5 months, hasn't even been 3 months yet, but actually because I am in lockdown, that's given me a huge amount to think about, a lot of time to think about stuff as well. So as I said before, it's given me the best education in finance. It's given me the best way to sit down and look at how much I'm earning, what I'm spending my money on, and create a budget, create a way to save that's diversified, and just try and understand financial stuff more. I mean, I went to a private school and we weren't taught anything about finance. Even my parents don't really know much about finance. The one thing I find amazing about YouTube and why I love this platform is because there are so many good resources out there. Of course, please don't take anything you see online as financial advice, but you can use it as a good way, as a starting point, just to learn a little bit more about these things. Why shouldn't you have your stuff just in a savings account with a low interest rate? What is inflation? What is an emergency fund, and why and how much should I have in it? How much can I save each month? All of these different things is a really good thing to learn about. Pensions. So this has been a great opportunity for me to sit down and learn more about that, learn more about investing in an environmentally and socially responsible way. If I don't do that, where does my money go? It goes into things like arms, it goes into fossil fuels, climate change, things that are negative on the planet. So it's really important we look at where our money is invested and going if we do go down that route. And again, doing this research and financial research has been really, really, really good for me and important. And it's helped me to save a lot more money because I actually have eyes on what I'm spending money on now. I also find that I want less stuff in general. This whole low buy year has coincided with me taking a massive step back from social media in terms of just general scrolling, not necessarily the work that I'm trying to put into it, although that has suffered a little bit, but that's just because of lockdown fatigue, not because I'm not interested in it. I love you guys, don't go away, please. And so I found a lot more hobbies, like playing the piano a lot more, and I've managed to get my sister roped in. We've been playing the piano together, doing different duets. I've also just been doing my commonplace environmental book, finding hobbies that aren't costly. I think also a lot of people said that there's sheet music that you can find online and stuff like that. I'm trying to stay away from screens, so I haven't done that yet, but I have been looking through all the piano music in our house and just playing and sight reading and learning how to play properly again. It's been so nice to just be grateful for what I have and learn to do things that I used to be able to do, but also learn new skills. For example, my commonplace book, I've been learning how to collage and layer. I did do fine art for my A-levels, but that was with painting and oil painting and things like that. It was never with understanding how to layer things in collage and find these beautiful quotes and try my calligraphy and things like that. And it's just been such a wonderful and creative and experimental and just beautiful time. It's made me feel very grateful for what I have and realize that I really do want for nothing. My basic needs are met. In general, you know, even though I'm feeling lonely and whatever, like I am actually fine. You know, I have a roof over my head, I have food, I can afford to pay my bills. So yeah, I'm okay. I've also found that I am so much better at actually using my equipment, like my camera, for example. Lots of you commented on my last video how well it was filmed or put together. Thank you. And it's because I have spent so much more time learning how to use this machine to its fullest capabilities, to understanding, you know, again, ISO, aperture, all of these different things, how to make things look cinematic, how to take time to make things feel emotional or intense, or learn more about storytelling. And I have still so much further to go, which is great because this is a lifelong journey, but it just feels wonderful to be excited again about creating something and getting better at it and crafting and being good at it. And I just, it feels so rewarding and validating when I put something out and I've spent so much time on it and you guys tell me it's good. Feels good, especially when I like it, because I can like something, you know, this amount, and then I put it out and you guys like it this amount, and I'm like, what? Why not? Why is it not bigger? And also just finally being able to save so much money, or so much more than I was before, is so liberating. It feels like that is something I actually have control over in my life, and that makes a humongous impact. Like, I just cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. It makes me feel like I am in control of my future. If I lost my job tomorrow, if nobody watched my videos anymore, no brands wanted to work with me, that I would know how to, you know, I have got this emergency fund that would help me out for a few months while I looked for another job. That feels liberating. Having set up a LISA, you know, and going to do a pension, that feels liberating because it makes me realize that, you know, planning for your future is so important, and the earlier you start, the better, because we're all about sustainability of this channel, you know, not about just environmental sustainability, but lifestyle sustainability. We want everything to be sustainable for our lifetimes. If I can recommend anything, I really would say get a pension immediately. The younger you start, the less you have to save each month. Also, don't ever think that £5 a month is not enough. You can save £1 a month. Any amount of money that you're able to save, that's good. Well, that's how my low buy years go so far. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thank you so much for being here to watch it. No, but seriously, I just had a lot to say today, which is a change because I had nothing to say for this past week. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Again, thank you for your support. Oh, do I appreciate it. I just want to say a massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video and always supporting my channel and my content. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. I use Squarespace for my website, and it helps you to connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights, all on one easy-to-use platform. And if you want, you can also extend Squarespace's already powerful e-commerce capabilities with Squarespace extensions. So if you're interested in checking out Squarespace, you can go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/sustainablyvegan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you very soon. Bye.